Hey everyone, Nicole Cordoves here and welcome to another episode on my channel. And yes, medyo regular na ulit ako nag-upload ngayon. And I'm so excited for my interview today because we will be talking to one of the most dyosa faces to ever grace the Binibining Filipino stage. She is Maureen Montagne. Hello! Thank you for having me, Nicole. I'm so glad that this interview actually happened. It almost didn't happen, guys, because it's been hectic for Maureen. I super understand your schedule. And you're how many days away from flying off?
I leave on October 20th.
October 20th. I think
yes. 5 days.
Yeah, this has been uploaded already. So hi, guys. Let's wish Maureen luck.
Thank you.
So, Maureen, you have a lot of pageant accolades under your belt. And these are just some that I found online. The rest, I'm not sure how to verify. Let's play true or false.
Game.
So, Mutiya ng Pilipinas 2013.
Yes.
How did you fare there?
I got first runner-up. Interesting fact, Emma Tiglao was the one who crowned me. She was also last year's first runner-up.
Oh.
This little Binibining history coming together.
Yeah.
But I was just approached. They always love getting international candidates. So I was Miss Arizona for that, and that trip actually made me fall in love with the Philippines, and it made me know I need to move here.
Yeah. Okay, so next one, Miss Arizona USA 2015, which you just mentioned.
Yes. Sentimental favorite pageant. Going to Miss USA was so fun. That was like my first big pageant because Miss Arizona had 62 candidates. So very nerve-wracking, but I was really happy, and what an experience.
But how did you place there? Because I just read from a YouTube video I randomly found online that it was the same year Olivia.
She won my batch.
Yeah.
Olivia Jordan.
Olivia Jordan.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
And she just had a baby, so congrats, Olivia. So I got top 15 at Miss USA. I wish I had more pasarela training back then. It was really just me and my mom. So there aren't really camps in the US. That's what I love about it here in the Philippines. There's so much support. There's so much guidance. So I went there a little fresh, but it was still fun. And I think top 15, especially for an Asian American, was such a win.
Mm-hmm. Actually, when you said you were a little fresh in that pageant, when I rewatched that, I was like, Maureen actually looks the same. Like,
oh, thank you.
It's like you were born a goddess already.
Yeah.
You were born prepared. And as Status of Pageantry actually call it, a pageant unicorn.
Oh,
it's
thank
like
you.
Wherever you put Maureen, whichever pageant, you're gonna do well. That's why I'm like, okay, what was your placement here? The next one is Miss Eco International 2018, which I know you won first runner-up.
Yes.
And Binibining Pilipinas Globe 2021, finally. So you are a pageant veteran. Actually, you've been in the pageant scene longer than I have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, who pushed you to be in pageantry?
It was really my mom. So growing up, I was super quiet, super awkward, and my mom wanted me to build some more self-confidence. So from dance lessons to acting lessons, she actually pushed me into pageantry. And my first pageant, I completely bombed the Q&A portion. And I felt so sad, like sobrang kawawa.
Do you remember your question that time? It usually haunts you.
It was an easy question, like what is a characteristic of a modern woman? And I started out, I said responsible instead of responsibility.
Yeah.
And then the grammatical error, I was like,
yeah.
And I froze, and then the audience started yelling out answers to me, and it was horrible.
What, they yelled out answers?
They were trying to help.
Oh, yeah?
Like, maybe respect, or
they were so nice. That was a very nice audience.
They were trying to help me. And after that, I knew I can do better. And then after that, I decided to join Miss Arizona. That was my redemption moment. And I joined that one 100% on my own accord. Nobody forced me. Nobody asked me.
And how young were you that time?
I was 20 years old. Yeah.
What keeps you in pageantry?
I always like to say it's my two favorite things. Public speaking and modeling merged into one. So it's a really good fit for me. And every pageant, I always think, I can do better. Yeah, I could have improved this. oh, maybe I should have been more articulate with my answer, a bit more warm. Maybe I should work on this. And for me, it's like you can never stop improving.
Yeah. Okay, so since you emphasize so much on self-improvement and the lessons you learned in pageantry, I would like to ask you like the best lessons you learned in each of your pageants, because you've been doing this since you were how young?
18.
18 years old, and now you are 27.
28.
28. Discounted. So let's start with your takeaway from Butiana Pilipinas 2030, the young Maureen.
Yes. For that pageant, I would have to say keep believing in yourself. I was in a new environment and we had some, bigger personalities with us. I think our winner, Maureen Montagne, she was an established artista, so I had to not be shy or think, oh, I'm not as good as her because she's already at such a high level. So I think that helped me believe in myself and to not compare, because especially now in other pageants, more artistas are joining, and as somebody with a smaller name, it can be so intimidating. So I'm glad that pageant taught me to push past my preconceived notions and just to believe in myself.
What is your message to pageant aspirants who, of course, now social media is a big part of pageantry, and there are a lot of girls who start out with nothing, like
Yes.
no followers, and then suddenly you're with these PMAP models,
Yes.
right? Who are already known, have connections to all these designers. So what's your message for them?
My message to anybody who is a smaller, I want to say creator or beauty queen, is that that's almost your superpower. Nobody knows who you are yet. So use that to your advantage. Think about your image, your brand, how you want to present yourself, what's authentically you, and you can really challenge that. You can make waves, make a splash, be different. So don't think of it as a disadvantage. Think of it as a strength.
You know what, Maureen can also train girls.
Yeah.
We should start our workshop. Okay, your main takeaway from Miss Arizona USA 20.
My main takeaway from Miss Arizona 2015 would have to be, don't be afraid. I got so scared on finals at Miss USA, and although I did train a lot, I think my nerves got the best of me. Prelims were fine, but finals, I was a bit shaky, and that's one thing I learned with competing so many times, how to shake off those nerves.
Yeah.
So that was a learning experience.
And you actually never lose the nerves.
Yes,
And
if you care, it's good to be nervous,
Yeah.
but just know how to handle it.
Yeah. That's why I was actually nervous about not being nervous during the Binibining Filipinas finals night for my year. I was like, I feel like it's not my night because I don't feel the butterflies.
No.
Like I didn't feel anything. I was just so present, and
I think that's good though. I think when you're not nervous, you have faith. You have faith in yourself, and you worked hard. So what is there to fear?
Yeah, but I miss the butterflies because it's like a signal that you know what, you're doing something amazing.
Yes.
So don't be afraid of the nerves.
Yes. Nerves are good.
Yeah. Okay, for Miss Eco International 2018, what was the lesson you learned there?
I think my lesson, not necessarily from the pageant, but from my overall experience with that, would have to be, it's okay to choose yourself. Sometimes in life you may be presented with opportunities, and if it doesn't work with your life, with your journey, it's okay to say no. We don't have to say yes to everything that comes our way. So that one really taught me how to be a woman and how to choose my own journey and my path. So I'm actually very grateful for everything that brought into my life.
You know what? As you were talking about that, I feel like it's very relevant to beauty queens because we really are given all these options, and it's a matter of choosing which one. So it's like the paradox of choice, like the more choices you have, the harder decision you're gonna make. But at the end of the day, like you choose what will contribute most to your character.
Yes, absolutely. And I think especially when you are in the entertainment industry, people often push you towards business opportunities, and sometimes what's good for business isn't good for your heart. It isn't good for your mind. It isn't good for your soul. So at the end of the day, it's you who has to live with the consequences. So choose yourself. Never be afraid to choose yourself.
Okay, Binibining Filipinas Globe 2021.
Yes, I think this is the pageant that taught me how to have fun. And And I know that sounds redundant. You're 28 years old. You don't know how to have fun. I think sometimes, especially in pageantry, this is one thing I love about you because you don't really fall into this trap, is you almost become pageant patty, where you're very hyper aware of how to behave and act, and sometimes you lose a bit of your rawness and your realness. I think that happened to me along the way, and then in Binibining I was able to let go. So I'm really glad. And it's nice to see queens like you and Kat who are, not afraid to show the real you.
I got goosebumps from that compliment. When I was researching the pageants that you have joined, and you have pretty much placed in every pageant, I was like, how does she do it? Because I was sure that if I join Binibini, if I lose, I'm not gonna join one again because I get the pressure.
Yeah.
And people already have this image of you, this memory of you, and you have to like level that up every time. So how did you handle that? Like, because every pageant you join, for sure, you need to reinvent yourself.
Yeah.
So what is your inspiration behind that? Because that's really hard work.
Yeah, so I think, again, you have to keep improving, show a different side of you. So when I was in Binibining Filipinas, I was aiming for the top crown, which was international. So I had to show my softer side. So I actually ended up doing less. And I know that sounds strange, but I think I needed to leave the audience with a little bit of mystery since I was already known and people were expecting so much. So a line that you always hear is know when to peak. I had to wait, especially we had such a long break in the middle. I didn't know if I could even continue. So once things started rolling again and I knew I could still compete, I waited until just we were near coronation, and then that's when I started releasing my photos, started doing more interviews, because being overexposed can actually hurt you. So it's a tricky game. You have to know, when to rise, when to pause. But I'm glad I had my team to help me with that.
Hey, Maureen, you have experienced a lot of competitions already, but this time you did it in the pandemic.
Yes.
So what do you miss about pageantry?
So I almost feel like we competed in two pageants. So in 2020, we did start. We made it up into the press con. So that first half was very stressful and chaotic. And then we had a big break, and then we came back. Did we miss anything? Maybe a few events here and there. I really wish we could have done the Parade of Beauties.
Yeah.
With the big flowers. I think that was the one thing.
Yeah.
But I almost feel like having more online activities was better for our mental health, because I feel like with the pandemic, we had more eyes on us.
Yeah.
And there was a lot more comments, judging, and as a queen, you have to really protect yourself and your psyche from some of the online comments.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we had the best of both worlds, so we could experience.
All right, so this time, there are a lot of people who are rooting for you to have every crown. No, because like I said a while ago, Maureen can fit every crown.
Oh,
so
thank you.
Yeah, and of course, you were rooting for Miss International, and a lot of people were as well, because every girl who enters Binibini will, of course, want to aim for the highest
for the
crown, right? So, as the pageant kept getting postponed, and then you heard that, okay, now my age won't allow me to qualify for certain crowns anymore. Did you find out about this already prior to pageant night, or is it something you didn't know of yet?
It was something that it kind of happened slowly, because when I started, I was 26, eligible for all, and we still had Supra. And then every time, I got older, so 27 hit, and then we lost Supra, and then I turned 28. It was also a question of, should I continue? And I just kept thinking, I made it this far. I've made so many sacrifices. I put in so much effort. I'm finishing. So yes, I was aware, but it really worked out, because as we saw on social media, Miss International was moved to 2022. And if I had one, I would have been ineligible. So it was globe or nothing. And I'm so, so thankful I did get globe.
And I actually want to share this to our viewers, because when I was watching Maureen during rehearsals, she was really giving it. No, because I would think, no, it's really hard because you competed for like almost 2 years.
Yes.
And as you said, you put in so much work already. So if you're a front runner and then, everyone's rooting for you and you have people relying on you as well and supporting you, like you might slide a bit backward, like my heart is broken. And we can totally empathize with that. Like, let's give her a break. But then Maureen was like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I really appreciated Maureen at that point.
Yes.
And that was actually when you caught my heart. I was like, I hope she really does well.
Thank you. Yeah, but we had friends too, like Vicky, who weren't even able to continue on solely because of age. It hurts. And although, yes, I wasn't eligible for any crowns Dedma, this is my moment. This is my last pageant. I'm just going to shine. And I think that's also what the pandemic taught me, that time is precious, time is short. So enjoy it, make the most. If no one's rooting for you, root for yourself. I was dancing like it was my last dance. So
yeah, it was like she was gonna still bag all the crowns. That was her spirit, and I love your spirit. I just have to tell you that. You have made a fan of me after that.
I'm a fan too.
How has the Binibining experience been for you? What is it like working with the org?
I have to say, I love Binibining Filipinas. I've worked with several different orgs here in the Philippines, and it's the best. They respect the girls the most. They give you the most support. They're very clear-cut with what they want, what they need. And as a girl, all we need is direction.
Yeah.
So thank you, Binibining, for taking care of us, for giving us direction, and for making sure we're safe.
Oh, that's so nice to hear, actually.
Honestly, the best, the pinaka best pageant dito sa Pilipinas.
I did not tell her to say that.
I swear. Like, if you ask me as a competitor, what pageant should you join? For me, Binibining.
Did not pay her to say that as well. Okay, so now I won't let my guests walk off the studio without answering some Q&A from the Binibining Filipinas previous years.
Okay,
Your first question is from Binibining Filipinas 2009. And the question is, by participating at this pageant, you are intending to represent the Philippines. How will you promote the best in the Filipino woman?
I think that the best of Filipino women is showcased every day with our frontliners, with our gold medalists, with our teachers, with our mothers, with everyone who is working all around the globe. I think it's very evident how hardworking we are, how hospitable we are, and I plan on promoting this by sharing my story, by sharing my mother's story, and all of the stories of the Filipinas who really are world class. Thank you.
I swear, she should have gotten a harder question that night. That question for her was like...
Sometimes the easiest questions are the hardest because we almost have scripted answers or things to fall back on. And when you're given such an easy question, you just say something simple. So it's really important to think about what you say.
Yeah, it challenges you more to think of something more complex.
Yes,
to level up.
You want to dazzle your audience.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you're too plain, even for me at Binibining, I said my answer, I was like, oh, that wasn't spectacular. It was good. It was fine.
Yeah.
But we want to dazzle.
Yeah.
It's true.
Okay, so your next question is from Binibining Filipinas 2010. What is your idea of a good life?
A good life for me is full of love. It's full of kindness. It's full of community. And it's full of passion. I think in life we really need to find our purpose and passion and help others. We're only given one life, so let's use it wisely. And don't forget to vote.
Yay! I'm dazzled. I'm saying it, I'm dazzled. Okay, third question. It is said that nobody is perfect. What trait of yours do you want to change from Binibining Filipinas 2011?
I think sometimes I am too hard on myself. It's something that a lot of us do. When we stand in the mirror, it's so easy to criticize ourselves, pick ourselves apart. And so when we do talk to ourselves, let's make sure to do it with kindness, to do it with a gentle heart, and to always focus on self-improvement and bettering ourselves in the lives of others.
Last question. That was fast. From Binibining Filipinas 2014. As a Binibini, you must be updated on events happening around you. What particular current event or latest news affects you the most and why?
I think a current event that's going to affect everyone in our country is the upcoming election. I recently registered to vote, and I beg and plead with you to please register before our deadline on October 31st. We were given a second chance to continue registering to vote with the second extension, so let's not waste it. Let's use our voices. If you have complained, been unhappy, have had remarks about our government in the past few years, now is your time to use your vote. So please, please register today.
I have goosebumps! Queen is informed. Snacks for Queen Maureen.
Thank you.
How different is Maureen this time around? Would you say that this is the best version of Maureen that we will witness during this day?
Yes, absolutely. This is me 100% authentic. Even in Binibining, I was asked to tone myself down as Miss International prefers the more demure, sophisticated women. And I'm a bit more, yes, I'm a bit more makulit, bubbly, outgoing, and sporty. So I'm happy I can showcase that finally. And I'm confident enough to where I don't need to pretend, and I'm not afraid to show my true self. So definitely this is the best Maureen you've seen yet.
But actually, talking to you right now, I feel like, how did I not find this before? Because I feel like you've been so reserved and you're
Yes.
very private.
Yes.
Is this something intentional?
So again with Binibining, I was just told do less, be less, which was hard. That actually kind of, looking back, I don't want to say it hurt my feelings because I, did it, but it was more of a game plan. And then also in 2020, I was offered a crown for a separate org. I said no and was canceled so hard. And
So that's kind of silenced you.
in that moment, I learned sometimes silence is golden. You need to turn things off, and not everybody deserves access to you. So that was kind of a pivotal point. And for actually maybe 6 months, to a fault, I was so private where I didn't let people in. And so I had to find that nice balance, which I finally found, where you can let people in. You don't have to keep your life a secret. You can just keep it private. So I had to learn that because when I was canceled, people didn't want to hear my story. They just wanted the cheesiness, the scandal, everything. And it kind of broke my heart a bit. So, but now, to be honest, I did think beauty pageants were a bit ugly that year. That's also why I didn't know if I could continue on with Binibining Filipinas. But then I'm glad I saw, you know what? That was just one instance and that doesn't define me. And Binibining taught me that, beauty pageants are beautiful. So I'm glad I continued and that I'm not afraid anymore.
The legacy of Maureen Montagne, how would you want to change the face of pageantry, even in your own little way?
For me, I really would like to have more women behind the scenes. I think that's why I like Binibining. It's owned by a woman, by Madame Stella. But I think we really need a woman's touch, especially after everything I've been through in the Philippines. I've noticed a lot of things are dictated by men here, which is great. However, having a uniquely female perspective, when it is the girls competing, we're putting everything on the line. I'd like to really promote a more feminine atmosphere for the girls and have women making the decisions. Because that's what really matters.
Maureen for president, ladies and gentlemen.
Also, I do have to have one comment. You can say my last name correctly, and I love you for it.
Oh, okay. I mean Montaigne, like champagne.
Yes,
Expensive like champagne.
yes. Thank you, because no one can say my last name. So the queen.
And I would like to say that I'm really glad I got to sit down with you today and get to know you because you're so open now.
Yes.
And you're such a breath of fresh air. And I feel like there's so much people can get to know about you that has remained in the shadows when you were competing.
Yes.
So I hope that through this episode, guys, you fall in love with Maureen as much as I did.
Thank you, Nicole. But it's also easy when you have such a good host. Yeah.
Okay, so this time around, what is there a difference in your strategy, like are you doing something different in approaching Miss Globe?
Yes. So for Miss Globe, the three main things that they're looking for is beauty of face, beauty of body, and a winning attitude. So for me, I don't have to hold anything back. We're making sure my pasarela, we're calling it the Maureen walk.
Maureen.
Yes, Maureen and Reina. Maureen. So we're going to have hips, we're going to have spins, and we're just going to have fun. I'm going to showcase my bubbly personality and smile. And yeah, I'm excited. I hope we have a very fresh coronation on November 5th.
Girl, you're gonna make it so fresh. You're gonna make it so fresh on that stage. What pasabongs are we going to expect from Maureen?
So all of my photos now, they're strong, they're sexy, and they're fun. We're not hiding anymore. We're out, we're proud, and we're ready. So expect like extra bonga photos. And videos. This is the first time. The pandemic really transformed competing. And especially with MUP, like Steffi, she raised the bar so high.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So now I have like a videographer and everything, so we can live the full fantasy.
Yeah. And then this time around, are you gonna wear a different color gown? Because when I was watching your previous pageants, you were always in red.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a coincidence or that's a color that
I love red.
Yeah.
But like when I competed at Miss World Philippines, they're like go soft. So you try to adjust for the peg, and then unfortunately with this pageant, we have a required color, silver. So I'll be in silver, but I told my designer, Sir Louis, I want, a daring cut and sparkles and beads. So it will still be me, just in silver.
Still dyosa, Maureen. Oh, Becky. All right, so I think that's all the questions I have for you. Can we extend this interview?
So please follow the official Miss Globe page. It's at the Miss Globe. And be sure to like, share, and comment on all of my photos and videos. Currently, my introduction video is the most viewed on the page. So let's go, Laban Filipinas! And we do have voting on the official The Miss Globe website. So please check that out and please vote for Miss Philippines.
Okay, how ready are you to slay the pageant?
As of now, we'll say a 9.5 because I still need to pack. But she's ready. She's ready.
You can do that in one night.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Maureen.
Thank you so much, Nicole.
And it's been such a joy to get to know you, honestly.
It's been an honor being here and Kalig being here. So thank you so much to everyone watching. Please don't be afraid to follow me at Maureen Montagne on all of my socials.
Don't be afraid to follow me.
Yes.
She won't bite, guys. And thank you so much, guys, for watching this episode. If you enjoyed this interview, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so that you won't have to miss an episode.